Oh, I must say that it's not easy to see the way and manner these people died. In fact, when I first glanced the video of the charred bodies bent beyond recognition, I wept. Because I'm a Christian, I believe that we are all going to die. But I believe that the way they died is the problem.
At the point I was wondering, so at what point did extension of life happen?
Okay. So you look at the way the bodies on the ground, bent virtually to ashes. So sad. People's fathers, children, uncles, brothers, breadwinners. Oh, look, many people look up to these people for one reason or the other. And just in a twinkle of an eye, they are gone. And for me, that is the very difficult moment that I think that we've been through. And for us, we are even far away from the family, but we are even feeling the pain. You can imagine the direct family people, wives, children, mother, father, siblings, uncles. You can imagine the kind of pain such people are going through. So death is a painful thing, but certain deaths are more painful because of the way they happened. And I think that, I believe that nobody will even wish that his worst enemy should die in this manner. And for me, I think that that's how we should look at it. And for me, they have died. We are mourning and everything. But it also exposes us as a nation in several ways. Okay. Probably, if we had the Ghana Rescue Service, which we call National Fire Service, if they had had a helicopter that can douse fire, probably maybe the body may not have been bent to that level. Because per the Armed Forces' own statement, the flight left Accra around 9:12.
Yes.
By 10 a.m., there were reports in news portals that the helicopter had crashed, the location, the people in the community were sharing information. So I believe that if we had done the fire service, emergency and rescue service, I have said that we have to change the name. Emergency and rescue service, because the name fire service suggests that they are only into fire. So people don't understand that the real work of the service is emergency and rescue. So at that point, in any serious can, that will be the first institute to call upon to quickly dispatch a helicopter that can go there with the necessary fire and chemicals to try and see whether they can douse the fire. But we didn't have one. So there is nothing we could do. We're helpless. And the bodies bent beyond recognition. So it's something that we must look at, that are we going to use this incident as a point of decision making and says that it's about time we retool the fire service and give them some of these resources. It's one thing we have to look at. And then the second one is how the bodies were handled. In fact, when I saw jute sacks on the head of human beings, and we were being told that those were the charred bodies being carried away, I just shook my head. I said, this is crazy. This is a human being that is dead. And we could not dignify the transportation of the remains. The best way we could transport the remains is to carry them in jute sacks and carry somebody's head. And I'm like, who even took the decision that these bodies should be packed into jute sacks?
Well, we've heard that at the point of cut or moving the bodies, they were still warm, and that the body bags would have melted if they had been placed in body bags.
You see, these are some of the mundane explanations that I will not buy. Can't the bodies still be put in the jute sack, if that's the best, and still put in the body bag before being carried? You see, let's not. You see, when this happened, everybody is rushing to give explanation. We got it wrong, and let's accept that we got it wrong. Let's not justify this inhuman treatment. The fact that they are dead does not mean that we should denigrate them further. It's not the case, and that's not the way we should go about it. So I don't want to hear anybody justifying this that the bodies were hot. Bodies were hot in jute sack, and human beings were carrying it on their head. Something that I say is hot is still being carried on the human head. And you are telling me that we couldn't still have packaged this thing into any other thing and put them in body bags before carrying them, but we have to put it in juice sack and put it. Anybody give you that explanation, and I tell the person that say you should stop. It makes no sense. We should know that somebody should admit that they did the wrong thing. Because if we are not ready to accept our mistakes, we cannot change. We cannot correct them. Nobody should deceive anybody because of bodies. So you are telling me that this happened in the UK or America, anywhere, they will put the people in juice sacks because they will say that their bodies are hot. Is that what anybody is telling me? Please, let's not go there. It's unfortunate that, can you imagine the family members who lost this people in this tragic manner, who would have at least expected that some dignity would be attached, seeing their loved ones being carried in a juice sack on somebody's head, and you come out to explain to the person that the bodies are hot. Are you crazy? Let's stop these things. Let's be sensible. Let's be sensitive to people's emotions and feelings. Let's not be giving this kind of rubbish explanation. Let's say that the people who got there, who took this decision, they just got it wrong. So that next time, we can, if you are trying to justify it, next time somebody will go and do the same thing. And so when it happens sometime, that's the same thing with it. Yeah. Let's accept when it's wrong. It is not the way to treat a human being who died in such a tragic manner. That is not the way to treat a person, and let's accept it. Okay? It's another flaw that we've seen. And the fact that people have gone there and picked evidence. People have just desecrated the entire crime scene.
Yeah.
Ordinary people went there, later politicians went there, later even the security people went there. You use all kinds of... But if we are to do any proper investigations into this, with all these interferences at the site, and people even taking away part of the helicopter, somebody said he took away watch. So people took all kinds of this away from the crime scene. And you ask yourself, if we say we have to investigate to ascertain what really caused this, a lot of the evidence has been destroyed by interferences of human beings that have gone there. And I think that this and many other lessons are things we need to learn and then quickly decide as a nation that what do we do that next time such incidents we can actually do better than we have done in this case. For the way the state has handled everything, I think so far so good. The only aspect I have problem with the state is that in this manner, for somebody to say he is sponsoring the transportation of this body to South Africa, is the government of Ghana saying that they can't afford to transport this body to South Africa, body to South Africa for DNA? See, sometimes we do the right thing, and then whether out of excitement or out of exuberance or out of the desire to help, we take certain decisions that sometimes it doesn't sound well. You tell me that these people are done in the US, UK, any other serious country. It's a private person who will donate his private jet to carry the bodies to South Africa and back. This is the time we can hire private jet and it is justifiable. Okay? This is one of the conditions under which if you hire a private jet and pay for this, because we need the samples quickly, okay, it's justifiable.
Yeah, but if you need it quickly and his is available, why not?
I'm not saying, you see, at the way it was reported, it sounded as if Ibrahim Mama was the one even paying for the cost of the test. Because it sponsors. So people are saying, is he the one who even paying for the cost of the test in South Africa? A lot of questions were being raised. And I think we can avoid some of these things based on the way we act on some of these issues. And the helicopter crashes it's common all over the world. Okay, it's common all over the world. And I think last week I did a story about this particular
the Z9.
The Z9. Almost about 6 or 7 countries that have purchased this particular aircraft. That there are just about less than 10 countries that have purchased it from China, per the records I've discovered. But almost 7 of them have recorded similar crashes. With even senior military officers. In fact, generals in one country, about 3 generals died as part of the crash of using this Z9. So I have said, and I'll say it here also, that the investigation and all that we are doing, it should also include going beyond Ghana to look at other countries that are using this particular Z9 and look at the safety records of this particular helicopter. Because I think that with what I've read from various countries, it appears the Z9 has safety issues. And I think that it's time we examine that as part of the investigations. If at the end of the day we conclude and realize that it's not that safe, there are issues with it, and we will stop using the remaining 2 that is there, we take that decision. Because we bought 4, and I hear 2 are down, there to be repaired. 1 has been deployed to Boko for peacekeeping operation. So this is the 4th one that is available that has been used and now has crashed. Meanwhile, we bought this helicopter with largely to protect and surveil our oil facility. That is actually the main reason we bought this helicopter. But because probably the Air Force doesn't have options, so in this case they have to deploy this to transport people. So we must all realize that as a country, if we want to move forward, as I always say, let's take politics out of a lot of things. Let's look at the reality. In this country, when the armed forces request for equipment, it becomes NDC and NPP debate. When they say we need A, B, C, they become a political debate. So I think that we should learn a lot of lessons from this. We should do investigations into it to know exact cause. Now that they say the black ball has been found, we hope we'll find useful information out of it. And then the actual investigation will also include the safety record of the Z9 in almost all the countries that have purchased it. And then let's come to a report that says that the Z9 is safe, or we think we have issues with safety records, and therefore probably Ghana will not go in for more of that. So you see, it's important that we all take it easy. All kind of suspicious accusation, allegations. I say at this point in time, I will say let's leave all to investigations.
Right.
That at the end of the investigations, we will know exactly what has happened. And when we do that, then we can actually move forward in the right direction. I heard people say that, oh, DNA, why do we take to South Africa? I've heard someone said that the human beings who can do it, they exist in Ghana. They have the expertise. But the resources needed to do it do not exist in Ghana. For which reason it has to be flown to South Africa. Because the way the bodies have been bent, the kind of equipment that are needed for the analysis to be able to determine who is who, those equipment don't exist in Ghana. And we all know that in sub-Saharan Africa, when it comes to medical issues, it's South Africa. So it's not that the thing has been flown to South Africa because there's a lab in Ghana that can do it and we flew it. In fact, a lot of common sickness, you go to Kolebu and all the places, your samples, they will tell you that we do not have the facility to test it. They will take it to South Africa. It will take 3 or 4 weeks before the results will come. And they will have to just be managing you till the results come to know whether what they suspected is. So flying the DNA of people who have actually bent beyond recognition to South Africa is not because somebody wants to do it in South Africa. It's because the resources in terms of equipment, infrastructure to do it in Ghana does not exist. So I think that we are in an emotional situation, and many of us are charged emotionally, and all kinds of comments are coming. I think some of these things could go and hurt the family members the more. So I'll pray that we all restrain ourselves. Let's leave the investigations to be done. Let's get the outcome of the investigations, and let's work with that. But when we are throwing all kinds of suspicions, accusations, and things about, I say, do you have any feeling for the family members who have lost their families? Is it the right time for you to be making those allegations? And all that the state has done, I want to add that, see, somebody's father, mother, uncle, son, some breadwinner is gone somewhere. Most of the time, the state will do all these beautiful things. After that, the survivors, the state has nothing for them. Has nothing for them. As we speak today, the June 3rd disaster victim are still in court trying to say, you give us some money for medical bills, but we are still going to hospital up to today. We've lost ability to work, and the state should give them some compensation. June 3rd up to today, they have not received any such compensation. They have to take the state to court in a civil suit.
10 years.
More than that. And they are being caught trying to get some. I will say that the children, the family members that have left behind, we should go and find out what kind of support do these people give them on regular basis. Will the state be able to support them in that way? It's so important, because if we do all these nice burials and everything, which is the right thing we have done, but the people who are dependent on these people for survival, we do not include them in any support system, it means that after the burial and everything, the rest will now have to fend for themselves. There are many families where one person dies, they've lost all their hope because probably that's the only person that has something in the family and caters for all.
Yeah.
So if we leave the rest of the family behind without thinking about what kind of support do they receive from this person, is there a way we can find something to support those left behind? It's very, very important that we look at some of these things.
Right.
Most of the time, Ghanaians, once somebody is buried, it's gone. And then the support systems are not there. So I will add that the state should make sure that we do something for children, wives, parents. Oh, somebody is there, the parent is there. Every month is that son that will have to send something for feeding.
Exactly.
To send something for electricity bill. Without that son, no other child or family member is sending anything to that
so there should be
parent.
some support for dependents.
So if that person who gives is gone and the state does not take up that responsibility, how does that old man or woman whose only source of livelihood is that son who is gone, how does the person survive? So I think that we should go beyond this and try and see how we can support the survivors, those left behind.
Very well.